Hi everybody, and welcome to the I Got Love for Me video channel. I'm going to be discussing a lot of different topics here in this video channel. One for certain is using one of my favorite tools, using the work of Byron Katie, which is all about questioning your negative and stressful thoughts. I'm also going to be utilizing tools from the law of attraction, the importance of abundant thinking versus lack. So many different topics here in these videos that I'll be posting. So one thing for certain I want to talk about tonight is, as I am myself noticing that, or I noticed that my thinking started to go into kind of like a negative spiral, I stopped myself immediately and actually went into abundant thinking. And the way I did that was I took a journal out and I started to write down all of the things that I am completely abundant, and also just how the law of attraction really does work. So for example, as I'm writing in my journal the things that I remember, I had the opportunity to open up for one of my heroes, my idols, my musical idol, Joan Jett, back in 1992, and that was something that I always had in my vision board, in my mind. My dreams were always to open up for Joan, as well as also meet her. So I've been very fortunate to meet Joan several times. However, this last time was really impactful because of the whole law of attraction. So basically what happened, I wanted to share the story with you. So I got a call from a friend of mine telling me that Joan is going to be in a music video in Asbury Park supporting Darlene Love. And it was during the day, it was in the summer, and so I ended up going to the boardwalk, and there was Joan Jett, and I got to see her, just kind of from a distance. So then I went back into the beach where they were filming the video. A whole bunch of people were there, and as I sat there, I just had this feeling, this gut feeling that I was going to meet her. So I listened to that gut. I got up. I walked. I don't even remember exactly like what guided me, but I just started walking, and like I had no idea where I was going to go, but I just went for wherever my gut was telling me to go to. So I ended up going to past the boardwalk, and I ended up seeing a friend of mine also who was all about the law of attraction and the abundance and whatnot, and it was just a perfect time to see her because I started talking about what my intentions were. I'm going to meet Joan Jett. She was all excited for me, so I kept walking, and I saw buses that were behind the Wonder Bar in Asbury Park. And so I approached some guy and asked him if Joan was still there, and he said, no, she left. She left early. She was really tired. She didn't really want to be bothered or whatever. And so again, listened to my gut, and I stuck around, and I ended up seeing Kenny Laguna, who's her manager. And I talked with him and gave him the CD, took a picture with him, asked if there was any chance to meet Joan. She's a huge idol. She was one of my idols, and blah blah blah. And so he said, yeah, let me see what I could do for you. And her personal assistant was with him at that time. And so she said the same thing. She's like, well, let me see what I could do. So she got on the bus, and I'm waiting, and it's just me by myself. I'm waiting, and as I noticed, I was feeling nervous. And the nerves were more that the fear that this intention that I was having was not going to come true. Immediately, I went into trust, and I just trusted. I said to myself, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Moments later, her assistant comes off the bus, gives me a thumbs up. She said, Joan's going to come off. She wants to meet you. So she came off the bus. I got to meet her. We took a picture together, and that is my abundance story from that experience. Another experience I had also was with Ricky Martin, so I wanted to share this with you too. So a friend of mine who was doing lights for Ricky Martin's show in New York City, he told me about that, and I was like, you have to get me to meet Ricky Martin. He's one of my favorite artists, blah blah blah. Or I wanted to at least see the show. So he said he'll see what he can do, but there's no guarantees because the record company, they're very strict. But if you want to take the chance, you can take the chance. I just can't guarantee anything. So I took the chance. I went to New York City, and as I'm on the train, I set my intention. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just knew it was gonna happen. So I get there, and he's outside. My friend is outside. He's saying, "Yeah, man, I'm so sorry. It's not looking good. I'm sorry. You know, they're real strict and blah blah blah." And I was like, "It's okay. It's okay." Again, my gut was telling me it's gonna happen. So, as my friend went back into the building, I ended up going over to the security guard or the bouncer, and I started talking to him and saying, "So, there's really no chance I can get in, huh?" And started talking with him. He goes, "Why? Are you a fan?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, if you're a fan, name me or sing me a Ricky Martin song." So I started singing "Livin' La Vida Loca," and he started to laugh, and he was like, "Okay, well, everyone knows that song. I want you to sing a different song." So, and then he persisted to tease me about that, and then he asked his friend to come out, another bouncer, security guard, and said, "Hey, this guy claims to be Ricky Martin fan." He goes, "Oh yeah, well, name all of Ricky Martin's CDs in chronological order." So I'm like, "Oh my God, you're killing me here." So they were teasing me and all that, and then they waved me in. They said, "Go, just go on in." I was like, "Really? Go on in." I got into Ricky Martin for free. It doesn't stop there. So then, okay, so this is my abundant story for that. Then my friend Donna, she calls me and she says they're giving away free Ricky Martin tickets to the whatever caller on the radio, and he's playing at Madison Square Garden. So I was like, "Oh, I'm driving right now. I can't really do that." You know, and she said, "No problem. I'll do it." She calls me back maybe 20 minutes later, said, "You won't believe this, but we got free tickets." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And she's like, "Not only that, but we're in the drawing, the possibilities of winning backstage passes and actually meeting Ricky Martin." And I said, "You know what, Donna? It's going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to happen." I put it out there to the universe. She calls me. This is like maybe a month before the show. So this is like 3 months later, whatever, down the line. She calls me a month before the show. Actually, probably even less than that, before the show. And she said, "Guess what? The radio station just called me and told me that we won. We are going to see Ricky Martin front row. We get backstage and we're going to meet him." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just knew it. I knew it was going to happen." So that's another abundant story of manifestation. So that's just a few, and I just wanted to share with you, because the power of manifestation, the power of abundant thinking, the power that you have is just, it's just unbelievable. One more story real quick before I leave you guys. So I just came back from California, right? I woke up one day. This was the day that we were going to Universal Studios. I woke up and I was just in a bad space. And I know we've all been there before, you know, where we've just woken up, we had a bad experience, bad thought, whatever it did, and we let it control us, right? So the thoughts that I had were negative. They controlled me. It led to, you know, me not having a good day. Then I went to Universal Studios and had my neighbor call me and tell me that the water pipe broke in my, you know, outside my home, and that it's going to be my responsibility to fix it, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just, oh my gosh. And so I did go into the victim mode, which is the natural tendency for what, at least for me. And I think a lot of us do that, you know, why me kind of mentality. Or of course this has to happen. Of course this happens to me on a day like this. Of course, right? So I was aware of that, and I took responsibility, okay? And I knew that I brought that into my life, that moment, because of the way the morning went. I knew that my thoughts created somewhat, my co-created that experience. So I recognized that, and it slowly started to dissipate. I started to change my thoughts, right? And I called the water company. Come to find out that I did have the protection plan, so I did not have to pay. It could have been thousands of dollars to fix that. So, abundance, I was very fortunate, right? So then, the next time, we actually had a 2-day pass. So the next time we went back to Universal Studios, okay, I made sure, certain in my mind, that this is going to be a much, much better day than the first time we were there. In fact, it's going to be an amazing day. So, with that said, we go on the ride. The first ride was a Harry Potter ride. It was an almost 2-hour wait, right? But we experienced it. It was great. We had a great time. We got there. We got off the ride. The lady said, "You want to go back on the ride again? You can go back on again." Wow. We went on again. Then we ended up going to Jurassic Park. That was a ride I really wanted to go to. So we went to Jurassic Park ride, and after the Jurassic Park ride, we get off, and we decided, let's see, there was 2 other rides we wanted to go on. The Mummy ride and the Transformer ride. We heard that was really, it was really fun. So we get to the Mummy ride, and I just asked a guy who was working there, so which one should we go to? Should we go to Mummy? Is it really worth it? Is the Transformer ride worth it? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, it depends, Anyway, long story short, he ends up reaching in his pocket, and he gives me and Rocco an expedited line pass, so that way you don't have to wait in line. So we actually got to go to the Mummy ride with like less than a 5-minute wait. So that was amazing, and again, abundant thing that we just created. So thank you, universe. Go on the Mummy ride, come out, go to the Transformer ride next, right? See that it's a 60-minute wait. I have a look on my face of just whether or not, I'm not sure, is it worth it? Do we want to do it? A woman passes by. She's a worker there. She goes, what's with the face? And I go, oh, no. I was actually just kind of contemplating whether or not we should go on the ride. 60 minutes. Do we want to wait 60 minutes? She said, who says you have to wait 60 minutes? She reaches in her pocket. I'm not making this up. She reaches in her pocket. She gives us 6 tickets, 6 expedite line tickets that we could use throughout the whole park. So we go back on the Jurassic Park ride. In fact, we did all of the rides that we wanted to do, and we had less than a 5-minute wait. Again, first experience at Universal Studios, took responsibility for my thoughts. Second time, took responsibility for my thoughts, and look what happened. So again, just wanted to share the abundant story with you. Thank you for listening. I know it's kind of long, but I just wanted to share that with you. I love you all. Stay tuned for a lot more videos. Not so long maybe, but I just wanted to share these with you. Again, I'm going to be creating a website. It's called I Got Love for Me, and it's all going to be about loving the most important person, yourself, because if you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you like that? So, anyway, we will talk soon. God bless, and be kind to yourself. Thanks.